Hello, my dear friends. Good morning. Welcome to my YouTube channel Medical Biochemistry by Dr. Vasan Gosai. Today we will discuss about chemistry of carbohydrate. Now, carbohydrate is widely distributed in plants and animals, and it contains the elements carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. It is the hydrated carbon, and it is also called as saccharides or sugar. Many simple carbohydrates, empirical formula, we all know it, CN, S2N and ON. Some also contain nitrogen, phosphorus or sulfur. Now, according to the definition of the carbohydrates, they are the aldehyde or ketone derivatives of the polyhydroxy alcohol, or some are the compounds which yields when these derivatives on hydrolysis. जब उनका हाइड्रोलिसिस होगा, कुछ ऐसे कंपाउंड है जिनका हाइड्रोलिसिस होगा, तब ऐसे डेराइवेटिव्स अपन हमको मिलेंगे, ठीक है, जिनको अपन कार्बोहाइड्रेट कहते हैं. नाउ हियर the example of the, here you can see the glucose and the fructose. In glucose we all know that it contains the aldehyde group, okay, this is the aldehyde group, and in fructose here you can see the keto group. So glucose is called as the aldose, it is the aldose sugar, and fructose is the ketose sugar, okay. Now, in functions of the carbohydrates, first of all, it is the source of the living being, and the glucose which we can use as a for the synthesis of the ATP, okay. Then second one is the storage form of the energy. Here you can see the glycogen which is stored, okay, in our body, okay, in animal tissue, and second one is the starch which is stored in plants. Now the structural components, the glycosaminoglycans we can see in humans, then the cellulose we can see in plants, and the chitin in the insects. Then the carbohydrates, they also the constituents of the nucleic acids, DNA and the RNA. In DNA and the RNA, the ribose and deoxyribose sugar, they play main important role in the DNA and the RNA formation. Then it play the main role in the lubrications, the cellular intercommunications, and in immunity, and they also take part in the detoxification, and here the example is the glucuronic acid. Now the classifications of the carbohydrates, mainly it's classified into three parts. The first one is the monosaccharides, which contain the simple or the single sugar unit. Then in oligosaccharides it contains 2 to 10 sugar units, and in polysaccharides, poly means many, and it contains more than 10 sugar units. Mono and oligosaccharides, they are sweet to taste, they are crystalline in character and soluble in water, and commonly they are known as the sugars. Here you can see the monosaccharides, the simple sugars, and they cannot be further hydrolyzed, okay. So here you can see the monosaccharide are divided into different categories based on the functional groups, and second one is the number of the carbon atoms, okay. And here the functional groups are the aldose group, okay, CHO, and ketose functional group, CO. Now in aldose sugar and ketose sugar, the triose, tetrose, pentose and hexose. Triose means it contains the 3 carbons, so it is called triose. Tetrose means it contains the 4 carbon unit. So here the example of the triose in aldose sugar is the glyceraldehyde, and in keto sugar the example of triose is the dihydroxyacetone. Tetrose is erythrose and keto sugar is erythrulose. Pentose aldose sugar is the ribose and pentose keto sugar is the ribulose, and ketose aldohexose sugar, okay, it is the glucose, and hexose keto sugar is the fructose. Now here you can see the importance of the monosaccharides, and here in pentose sugars example is the ribose and deoxyribose. We already seen it is the important compound, okay, of component of the nucleic acid like DNA and RNA. And in hexose the glucose, galactose and fructose, they are the important source of the cellular energy and in nutrition. Now here you can see the glucose and the fructose, they have the same chemical structure or chemical formula C6H12O6, but they are different in the structural formula with their functional group, aldehyde group and keto groups. Here you can see the keto group, okay, in fructose the keto groups in the second position, but here in glucose the aldehyde group is present in first carbon group, first carbon position, okay, in the glucose. Here in monosaccharide, glucose is the most important of monosaccharide. It is an aldohexose and is found in the free state in plant and the animal tissues. Glucose is also known as the dextrose and grape sugars. Glucose is the component of the disaccharides like sucrose, maltose and lactose, and it is the monomer in polysaccharides, amylose, amylopectins, cellulose and glycogens. And glucose is the key sugar of the body and is carried by the bloodstream to all the body parts. Then second one is the galactose, and it is an aldohexose like glucose, and it occurs along with the glucose in lactose and in many oligo and polysaccharides. Here the galactose is synthesized in the mammary glands to make the disaccharide lactose, okay, which is present in the milk sugar. It is also the constituent of the glycolipids and glycoproteins in many cell membranes. Now third one is the fructose, which is also known as the levulose, and it is a ketohexose that occur in fruit juice, honey, and along with the glucose it is a constituent of the disaccharide sucrose. Here the fructose is the major constituent of the polysaccharides like inulin, starch like substance which is present in many plants such as Dahlia tubers, chicory roots and Jerusalem artichokes. Here the fructose is the sweetest of all the common sugars, being about twice as sweet as the glucose, and this accounts for the sweetness of the high fructose corn syrup and honey. Now the second the classification, here we can see the oligosaccharides, and which yield 2 to 10 monosaccharides on hydrolysis. In disaccharides, which yield 2 molecules of the same or the different molecules of the monosaccharide on the hydrolysis, and here the example is the maltose, okay, which form from the glucose plus glucose and 2 molecule of the glucose plus glucose. Then lactose is the by these 2 molecules or 2 units of the glucose and galactose, and sucrose is formed from the glucose and fructose. Then trisaccharides, here the example of the raffinose, which form from the glucose galactose and fructose. Then tetrasaccharides, its example is the stachyose, which contains 2 molecules of the galactose plus 1 molecule of glucose and fructose. Now third one is the polysaccharides, which yield more than the 10 molecules of the monosaccharides on the hydrolysis, and it's also known as the glycans or complex carbohydrates. And they are either linear, like its example is the cellular, or branch chain, and its example is the glycogen. They sparingly soluble in water, and but they are not sweet in nature. And these carbohydrates also serve as the storage depot for the monosaccharides, which cells use for the energy. Now these polysaccharides, they are divided into the two parts. First one is the homopolysaccharides, it is called as the homoglycans, and second one is the heteropolysaccharides, it is called as heteroglycans. In homopolysaccharides, it contains the same monosaccharide unit. Okay, they are the polymer of the same monosaccharide units, and its example is the starch, glycogen, inulin, cellulose, dextrin and dextrans. Second one is the heteropolysaccharides. Here they are the polymer of the different monosaccharide units or its derivatives, and its example is the mucopolysaccharides, or it's called as the GAG, glycosaminoglycans. Now the structure of the glucose. Here it is physiologically and biomedically it is most important monosaccharides, and its structure found in the straight chain structure formula, which is known as the Fischer's projection, and second one is structured, we can see it in the cyclic formula form, or it is called as the Haworth projections. Here you can see the straight chain structure of the D-glucose, and here you can see the alpha D glucopyranose and alpha D glucofuranose, the ring structure, cyclic structure, it is called the Haworth projections. In cyclic structures, they are the prevalent form of the monosaccharide with 5 or the 6 carbon atoms. Okay, and they form when the hydroxyl group on C5 carbon react with the aldehyde group or the ketone groups. Here you can see the formation of the cyclic hemiacetal form, okay, at the C5 carbon compound group, and it forms the glucopyranose, which is more stable form. Now we will discuss about the isomerism. Now ये isomerism क्या है? तो they are the compounds that have the identical molecular formula, but they are different in the structure, so they called stereoisomers. And here the 5 types of the isomerism. First one is the ketose aldose isomerism, second one is the dextrorotatory and levorotatory isomerism, then epimerism, then fourth one is the optical isomerism, and last one is the anomerism. और ये जो isomerism है वो डिपेंड ऑन दी एसिमेट्रिक कार्बन. नाउ ये एसिमेट्रिक कार्बन क्या है? सो इट इज़ द कार्बन एटम टू विच द 4 डिफरेंट एटम ग्रुप्स, ओके, 4 अलग अलग डिफरेंट एटम और द एटम ग्रुप्स अगर अटैच हो गए तो इट इज़ कॉल्ड द एसिमेट्रिक कार्बन, और अदर नेम इज द किराल कार्बन. Now here the number of the asymmetric carbon atoms determine the possible isomers of the given compound. अब उसको अपन क्या करेंगे, 2:n, जितने भी एसिमेट्रिक कार्बन होंगे उतना ऊपर अपन n की जगह पे लिखेंगे. इट इज कॉल्ड 2:n. सो ग्लूकोज के अंदर 4 एसिमेट्रिक कार्बन है तो उसके कितने आइसोमर बनेंगे? 2:n, मतलब 2:4 इज इक्वल टू 16 isomers. Now D and L isomerism means dextrorotatory and levorotatory. और उसमें क्या होगा, तो OH ग्रुप अगर, ठीक है, राइट साइड पे अगर होगा, ठीक है, जो कार्बन है सिमेट्रिक कार्बन, ठीक है, यहाँ पे एग्जांपल दिया है ग्लिसरॉल्डिहाइड का, ठीक है, अगर वो राइट साइड पे है OH ग्रुप तो इट इज कॉल्ड डी ग्लिसरॉल्डिहाइड, और अगर लेफ्ट साइड पे है तो इट इज कॉल्ड एल और levorotatory glyceraldehyde. Glucose is an aldohexose with 4 chiral carbon atoms. According to 2:n formula, glucose should have the 16 optical isomers. Here 8 have the D configurations and 8 have the L configurations. Okay. Here the D isomers of the aldose are shown on the figure on the following slides. Okay. Now what is apimers? So here the apimers are the two sugars which differ one another only in configuration around a single asymmetric carbon atoms. Okay, so they are called apimers. So here the glucose and mannose are same in the okay, in the structure formula, ठीक है, but at one carbon, here the second, okay, C2 carbon, they are different. Okay, so mannose is the C2, ठीक है, at the second carbon the apimer of the glucose, the mannose. Okay, and between glucose and galactose, galactose is the fourth apimers of the glucose, because उसका जो C4 कार्बन है वहाँ पे गैलेक्टोज डिफरेंट होगा ग्लूकोज के स्ट्रक्चर से. सो द एनंशियोमर्स ऑफ द ग्लिसरॉल्डिहाइड आर ऑल्सो नोन एज द एपीमर्स. Now in epimerization, the process by which one epimer is converted to other is called the epimerization, and the enzyme which involved in this process, it is called the epimerase. Now anomerism. So here the alpha and beta anomerism, an additional asymmetric center is created. Here an additional asymmetric center is created when glucose is cyclized, and two ring structure forms. One is alpha D glucose and other is the alpha and second one is the beta D glucose, and they differ from each other in configuration only around C1, which is known as the anomeric carbon. Now optical isomerism. So when the beam of the plane polarized light is passed through a solution of the optical isomer, it will rotate either to the right or dextrorotatory or to the left. It's called the levorotatory. And when the equal amount of the dextro and levo isomers, the resulting mixture has the no optical activity, and it is called the racemic mixture. Now what is the mutarotation? So when the D-glucose is crystallized at the room temperature and a fresh solution is prepared, its specific rotation of the polarized light is plus 112 degree, okay, for the alpha D glucose. But after 12 to 18 hours it changes to the plus 52.5 or plus 52.7 degree. If initially crystallization is taking place at 98 degrees Celsius and then solubilized, the specific rotation is found to be plus 19 degree, which also changes to the plus 52.5 or plus 52.7 degrees Celsius within a few hours. So, this change in rotation with the time, it is called a mutarotation, and this is explained by the fact that the D-glucose has the two anomers, one is alpha and other one is the beta, and these anomers are produced by the spatial configurations with reference to the first carbon atom in aldose and second carbon atoms in the ketose. Now the reactions of the monosaccharides, it gives the different compound when it is reacted with the strong acids or alkalis or by the oxidation, by reduction, okay, then action of the phenyl hydrazines. So first of all, what happened when its reaction with reacted with the strong acids, so it formed the furfural formations. Here the D-glucose reacted with the concentrated sulfuric acid or hydrochloric acid, it formed the furfural, okay, and then when we adding the alpha naphthol, it formed the colored complex, and this is the basic test for the mol stage, okay, basic test, okay, for the carbohydrate, and it is the, its name is the Moll's test, and Selivanov test for the ketose sugar. Now what happened with the alkalis? So it formed the enediols, or it is called, and this process is called the enolizations. And here the sugar, okay, combined with the dilute alkalis and form the enediols, and it's involve the free aldehyde and keto groups and form the enediols, and this is the basis for the Benedict and Fehling test. Now third one is the oxidation, okay, oxidation to produce the sugar acids. Oxidation of the aldose with the hypobromous acid gives the aldonic acid, and here the example is the glucose which form the gluconic acid, mannose which result into mannoic acid. Then reduction of the sugar to form the sugar alcohols. So here the D-glucose which form the D-sorbitol, the galactose which form the D-dulcitol, the mannose which form the D-mannitol, and mannitol is used to reduce the intracranial tensor, and it is act as a diuretics. Now fifth one is the action of the phenyl hydrazine, and it form the osazone. Now osazone is a yellow orange crystalline derivatives of the reducing sugar. When it's react with the phenyl hydrazines, all the reducing sugar will form the osazones with excess of the phenyl hydrazine when kept at the boiling temperatures, and the osazones are the insoluble form, and its sugar will have the characteristic crystal form of the osazone, okay. So they are the identical taste, osazone taste is the identical taste for the each sugar. Here you can see the glucose, its osazone called a glucosazone, and they are needle shaped. Lactosazone, they are powder puff shaped, and maltosazone, they are star shaped or petal flower shaped, okay, sunflower shaped. Now sixth one is the glycoside formation. In this process, the hydroxyl group of the anomeric carbon of the monosaccharide react with the hydroxyl or the amino group of the another compound. It may or may not be carbohydrate, and the bonds joining the carbohydrates, they are called the glycosidic or glycosyl bonds, and they form the O glycosidic bond, and second one is the amino or N glycosidic bonds, and this linkage may be either alpha or beta anomeric carbon, and they are physiologically they are very important, like glucovanillin and streptomycins, and streptomycin used in the in the treatment of the tuberculosis. Then cardiac glycosides, here the digoxin and digitoxins, they stimulate the muscle contraction. Then ovabane, which inhibit the sodium potassium ATPase and blocks the active transport of the sodium, and they useful in the cardiac failure patient.